couple weeks ago, I got the opportunity to go to Las Vegas for the first time. I got to go to one of my favorite TV chefs' restaurants while I was out there, Hell's Kitchen by Gordon Ramsay. And I love that show. That show's been around for 20 plus years. And so when I sat down, I had to order what? The beef Wellington, of course. I've seen it cooked on TV a million different times. And the service at this restaurant was incredible. Our server was truly amazing, 10 out of 10. But this guy, he starts walking us through the menu and he goes, you know, the beef Wellington, we sell about 2,000 of those a day across all of our restaurants here in Vegas. 2,000 of them a day. I think that equated to like $55,000 for those restaurants a day, just in one dish, not drinks, not apps, not everything else. $55,000 a day for one dish, all because of content marketing. Every time Gordon goes on TikTok, YouTube, TV, MasterChef, whatever, and talks about that beef Wellington, and there's a story around it, around how one of the guys on Hell's Kitchen can't cook the thing, or somebody on MasterChef tries to replicate it or put their own spin on it. It's a character in a show, and what makes this beef Wellington stand out as a content marketing strategy is that Gordon doesn't go on any of these TV shows and say, hey, come eat at my restaurant. Because the stories in those shows are so compelling, you feel so connected to them emotionally as a human, you go to Vegas and you go to Chicago and you go to all the other places that this restaurant is and you say, I've got to go try the beef Wellington because I've seen it so often on TV, I've got to go experience it. And I'll tell you this right now, there is no way that anybody on this planet can copy the way that you, your team, or your business actually communicate. And that is a real competitive advantage in a world where technology and everything else has it that we can all basically copy everything from a product or service standpoint that everybody else does. Communication has never been more important than it is right now. You know, back in the day, there were only a handful of ways to communicate with your customers via marketing. You had billboards, TV, print, radio. That was really all there was. But when the internet came out, all of a sudden there are basically infinite ways for you to reach and get in front of the eyeballs of people that you want to do business with. It's really complicated today, but there's one strategy that you can do that will help you stand out, and that's content marketing. So what's the point of content marketing? We're already doing so many things in our marketing strategies. Marketers are already stretched so thin. Why would we focus on content marketing? The reason is that we want to build relationships with our customers. I want you to take a minute and imagine the ideal customer that you guys would love to do business with. That person is standing right there in front of you, and above their head is a little number. And that number starts at 0. 0 means they don't know who you are, they don't know your brand exists, they know nothing about you. And all you know about them is that you'd like to do business with them. Now, as you put ad after ad after ad in front of them, you're slowly taking away from that bank account, and you're basically ending up with a overdrawn relationship with that person. And that's what most of our marketing looks like these days. Most people are just running ads. They're never doing anything that builds value, that adds to that bank account. But every time you execute on a content marketing strategy, a video like this on YouTube, there's a bunch of different ways that you can create content that is engaging and entertaining for people that adds to that bank account. The goal of your content marketing strategy should be to take that 0 on top of that ideal customer profile's head and push it up as high as possible. And once we get that bank account to a certain balance, then we can go in for an ask. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk in his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, famously talked about this, where he was talking about, like, you want to jab, jab, jab. Basically, you're just giving, 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 and then you right hook and you ask. And you really want to commit to that mantra as you're beginning this content marketing journey. Because the biggest mistake that people make when they're trying content marketing for the first time is that they go for the ask way, way too soon. I want to end with the secret. Like, this is the reason why content marketing actually works. There's one book back here called Influence by Robert Cialdini. And in that book, he talks about 6 different keys to influence of people. And as marketers, we're influencing people to hopefully make a good purchasing decision. And by the way, influence is okay as long as we have really good intentions behind it. Like, we're not trying to take advantage of people. We're trying to actually serve them well and give them a product or service that they need that will solve their problems and ultimately make their lives better, right? So we want to influence them in the way to do business with us because, you know, we want to help. One of the keys of influence is something called reciprocity. It's basically where I gave you something and your brain has evolved to say, I now have a emotional debt to that person. So back to the earlier example, we were talking about human beings and their bank accounts above their heads. If I get that bank account balance up high enough without asking for anything, you feel so compelled to come help me. and to give back to me, that you're going to do business with me when you're ready to do it. Or at least give me the first shot. And I'm going to have such a big competitive advantage because I've been building so much content out for so long that other competitors just aren't going to be able to touch us. They're just not. The power of reciprocity is that stinking strong. And the best way for any business today to build that reciprocity feeling in its, ideal customers out there is by doing content marketing. Make really great, high engaging, edutainment type content that makes people feel satisfied, taken care of, fulfilled. And then when they're ready to do business with you, they will. You just have to trust the process.